Now we are going to go ahead and deploy WordPress using Ansible roles. We will create an Ansible playbook which will make use of different roles to put it all together for us. Let's switch to the terminal window and change our current directory to the home directory. Execute cd // and list the contents here. Now let's navigate into Ansible-tutorials folder. Let's list the contents of this folder. Execute ls. So here we have a folder called demo-role and a readme file. Let's navigate into our demo-role folder and list the contents. Here we have another subfolder called WordPress-demo. By the way, we have uploaded all this code into a publicly available repository. You can navigate to this URL and get all the code. http://go.tetratutorials.com/Ansible. Anyway, moving on. Let's navigate into the WordPress demo folder and list the contents of this folder. And here we have the list of files and subdirectories. We have a playbook.retry/playbook.yaml file and a subdirectory called roles. As mentioned earlier, typically we have one main Ansible playbook which invokes multiple Ansible roles and brings everything together. And in this case, that Ansible playbook is in this file called playbook.yaml file. Let's view the contents of this Ansible playbook. If we look at this YAML file, the code is quite simple. So compared to our previous examples, you will notice right away how compact this Ansible playbook is. And you know the reason why this is so? You guessed it, because we are using Ansible roles for this Ansible playbook. If we break it down, we can see we have two tasks here. The first task is targeting a host group called db_hosts, and we have applied two roles to these hosts. These roles are called server and MySQL. The second task is targeting web_hosts and applying three roles to the servers in this group, which are server, PHP and WordPress. The server role is the role which has common packages. The order of execution of this play will be that Ansible roles will be given precedence over any Ansible tasks, meaning Ansible will first play all the roles, and then if Ansible finds any other local tasks in this playbook, they will be played after the roles. But in some cases, we may want to actually run some tasks before running the Ansible roles. Say it is a task for pre-processing. For these scenarios, Ansible provides a facility called pre_tasks, which are tasks which are played before any roles. Similarly, we can also write some post-tasks, which get executed after Ansible roles get executed. Okay, after reviewing this Ansible playbook, let's close it and review our inventory. Execute cat/etc/ansible/hosts pipe tail. And you can see here, and maybe you can also recall from our previous demos, we had configured two host groups. Web_hosts, which has node01 registered under it, and db_hosts, which has node02 registered under it. So these two servers are part of our inventory, where these node01 and node02 are our two AWS EC2 instances. And also notice these host group names match the target hosts we specified in our Ansible playbook. Let's confirm it once again. We view the Ansible playbook file contents once again. Execute view playbook.yaml. So you can see here we are first targeting db_hosts, which has node 02 registered within it. On this node, we are going to install MySQL and server. And under web_hosts, we have node 01, on which we are going to install server, PHP and WordPress. Okay, great, let's quit our editor. Now let's take a look at our Ansible roles. Let's list the contents of this directory by executing ls. And here we can see our actual playbook, which is playbook.yaml. And we have the roles folder at the same level as the playbook file. Let's go inside the roles directory. Execute cd roles. And here is the list of contents of this roles directory. Here we can see we have 4 distinct directories called MySQL, PHP, Server and WordPress. So what are they? That is right, they are our individual roles. And you will also notice the folder name matches the role name we used in the playbook. Let's go through each of them one by one. Let's start with the server role. We will execute tree server /. So as you may be aware, tree is a recursive directory listing program that produces a depth-indented listing of files. And as the output, it shows the structure of the server role directory. If we look at the structure of the server role, we have some tasks, because we can see we have a main.yaml in the tasks folder. This is where we are going to start. And we have got some other main.yaml files in other folders as well. So it is quite an elaborate setup, building all these subfolders and YAML files within them. It's quite a time-consuming task. And if you misspell any file or folder name, it will have unforeseen consequences, because Ansible will just quietly ignore those components. So is there a better solution here? Yes, definitely. When you want to create a new role, there is an easy way to create this whole folder structure. Rather than creating it by hand, we can just use the command Ansible playbook init role and specify the new role name, and Ansible will go ahead and create this whole folder structure automatically. Of course, if you want to have more control, you can opt to create them manually as well. Now let us go inside server role. Type cd server / and press enter, and list the contents of the server role. It lists all the files in the current working directory. Now let's view the tasks defined in this role. For that, execute view tasks / main.yaml. Okay, here are the contents of our tasks main.yaml file for our server role. These are the tasks which will be first executed when we play our main Ansible playbook, which in turn will play these Ansible roles. The first task here is called update apt cache, which is going to update the packages by using the apt module. Next task is install required software. If you recall, this is the loop construct we are using here. Here in this task, we are using the apt module and then installing a bunch of packages. We have things like Apache 2, MySQL-server-5, PHP-MySQL, and so on. The state value has been specified to present, so at runtime, Ansible will just loop through all these packages and replace it with the current item on the list. And then, one by one, the entire package list will be installed. Let's quickly check out other YAML files in the subfolders. Say defaults/main.yaml, and you can see it is empty. All other main.yaml are empty as well. If you create these folders and files manually, You do not even need to create these optional folders and files, unless of course you plan to add some actual code into these folders.